In this video, I am going to walk you through the 3 and only 3 paid subscriptions and tools that I use on a day-to-day basis to run my Amazon FBA business. Welcome if you're new. My name is Jonathan. This is my Amazon selling channel, Duke Does Amazon. Just to fill you in real quick, I primarily do retail arbitrage. I've been doing this for about 18 months now. I'm right around $400,000 in sales, okay? Not profit. And I always like to say that's not a brag or a flex. I just want to be transparent and open so that you know who's talking to you. People run laps around me, but that's where I'm at in my journey, okay? Now that that's out of the way, I'm going to explain to you the 3 tools and subscriptions I use, not to be mistaken with supplies. Those are like tangible, physical packing things, right? And I'm going to walk you through the price points, what they are, and why I use them. And that's really it. So without further ado, let's hop into number 1. Okay, so first and foremost, we're going to start with what I think to be the single most valuable and greatest tool that is out there. It's called Keepa, K-E-E-P-A, and the best part is it's like $17 a month. I'm not just saying this, I can't emphasize this enough. You need this to run your business. Please, if you're not sure at this point in time, hear it from me. I am not just saying this, I am so big on starting with the bare essentials, but this is an essential, and I think any other person providing good information, whether it be YouTube or in your life, they're gonna tell you the same, okay? So let me kind of walk you through what it is and then why that is so crucial, all right? So again, non-negotiable. Keepa is something, it's kind of like an extension. You can use it on your desktop and you can use it on your phone. You can actually integrate it with any of your scanning apps, okay? And it's gonna provide you with all of this data instantly when you're looking at a product to potentially purchase or you're doing research on, okay? So I'm gonna rattle off a couple of the data points and then I'm gonna explain why you want those data points and why they're so valuable, okay? So sales velocity, sales rank, current buy box price, the average sales price, the high price, the most it's ever sold for. The fact that it's available on your phone, it shows you the number of sellers at a given time. It shows you if Amazon is selling that product. And also, not only does it give you all of that, but you can look at all of it in a snapshot of today, a week, a month, 3 months, a year, or the entirety of that product's life cycle. And you might say, well, why is that valuable? Well, for one, all of those tidbits are valuable because they provide you the data to determine if this is a good buy. If you don't have this information, how are you supposed to know if something is selling, if it's selling quickly, how many I should buy per month, how much competition there is, how much stock does that competition have, how frequently is Amazon selling this product? Because if you don't want to compete with Amazon, then you need to know if they're regularly selling it. Just because they're selling it today doesn't mean they sell it 75% of the year. Right now, it's right around Thanksgiving time. I'm selling a lot of seasonal items. I might be able to get a premium right now, but in 2 weeks, the price is gonna tank. So I have to bring that into my mindset when I'm buying a product. Looking at a product's history allows you to see the full picture of really what goes on with this product. Because in a very, very small snap of just what's happening today is not really the full picture. So in a nutshell, Keepa allows you to decide if you should buy a product, and if so, how much to buy. If you're not using Keepa, you are guessing at best, and I can't emphasize that enough. I'm gonna do a huge deep dive into Keepa. Keepa is an integral part of the business, okay? It's like with anything buying and selling, the deal is primarily made before you even buy the product. You already know what it's gonna sell for. You're gonna factor in Amazon's fees. You're gonna get an idea of what it typically sells for and how many per month. Can't vouch for it enough. Keepa is a necessity. If there's only one tool that you pay for, let it be Keepa. All right, so after Keepa, number 2 is Inventory Lab. Inventory Lab is like a very multifaceted tool, kind of the jack of all trades, absolutely critical in my opinion, although I don't want to make it seem as essential to Keepa, okay? Because everything you do in Inventory Lab, in theory, you could do by yourself or outside of Inventory Lab, but for one, it's going to save you so much time and headache, and not to mention you would probably have to spend more than it every month just on other things like accounting or different softwares, or not to mention the value of your time and what you could be spending to buy more profitable products. But anyway, Inventory Lab is $49 a month. There is a 30-day free trial, and I'll kind of explain what it is. It has a desktop version, and then it has an app. Okay, so the desktop version, once you start buying products to sell on Amazon and you do FBA, you have to what is called create shipments before you send them into Amazon, right? You're prepping the items for Amazon. You can do that for free in your Amazon Seller Central page or account. And I've done that, okay? So this is coming from someone with experience. You don't know what you don't know. I just figured, okay, how much time can Inventory Lab save me? And then I started doing that and realizing, wow, this is taking me forever. Let me see what everyone's talking about with Inventory Lab. And it's one of those things, I'm so glad that I made the switch. So in addition to making your shipments much more timely, it also integrates with your Amazon account, which means that it keeps all of your numbers for you. When you enter a product, you're gonna put your cost of goods sold, you're gonna enter where you bought it from, the date you bought it, the expiration date. So all of these things Inventory Lab has, and now they know what your product sells for because it's integrated with your Amazon account. Why that's important is now you can run all sorts of reports like, what's my most profitable store? What's my most profitable item? How much money have I made on this brand, right? And so many other reports. I think most importantly, it's accounting purposes. If you don't have something like this, especially once you get going and you're selling hundreds of thousands of tens of thousands of products every year, how do you keep super clean books and understand where you're at financially? It allows you to know how much money you have tied up in inventory, what the projected sales value of that inventory is, all of your accounting, because you're entering your cost of goods sold, plus you can enter variable and fixed expenses, so that at the end of the year, it's literally a one-stop shop for your entire accounting needs, okay? It also allows you to do research on there, to do like product research instead of just on your phone, which is much more comfortable on your laptop. And I can go on, and we will deep dive into Inventory Lab, but I love Inventory Lab. Outside of that, if that wasn't enough, which it should be, it also gives you access to what is called Scoutify 2. That is their scanning app. For retail arbitrage, it's a must to have a scanning app, but it's the gold standard. Why they didn't just call it the Inventory Lab app or whatever, I'm not really sure, but just know that Inventory Lab and Scoutify 2 both come together, same company, and Scoutify 2 is the gold standard for scanning apps. Again, I've tried both. Don't just take it from me, but if Keepa is absolutely 1A, Inventory Lab is 1B, and then there's one more I want to talk about. Okay, so that leads us to our third and final paid tool and subscription. This is what is called a Repricer, okay? So first things first, there's a lot of different repricers out there, some as low as $25 a month, some as much as $500 a month. I actually just upgraded to the $500 per month one. I know that sounds crazy, but basically the general rule of thumb from people I talk to, if you're doing $20,000 or more a month, it'll pay for itself. And I have no complaints. It's made my life easier, and I've seen the increase in sales. So to me, everything's about return on investment, and to that, it absolutely is. But anyway, let's just talk about what it is. So you ship all your product to Amazon, it's sitting on their shelves, okay? If your product isn't priced appropriately at all times, it's never gonna sell, okay? Unlike eBay or Facebook Marketplace, where you can just set a price and someone, if they like it, they'll reach out or they'll make you an offer. The pricing on Amazon is more like, for lack of better terms, the stock market. It is constantly up and down all throughout the day, like literally all the time. So when you send in a product, let's say it's listed currently for $19.99. It might go down to $19 in an hour, it might go up to $22, it might go down to $17. Whatever it is, it constantly fluctuates. So what you do with a repricer is you say, okay, I bought this for $5, the buy box is $19.99. I'm gonna set my minimum price in my repricer at $14.99 and the maximum at $24.99. And the repricer is going to move your price accordingly so that you have a chance to win the buy box. Real quick, the buy box is where 80% of the sales happen. It's that little box that a buyer is looking at when they're looking at a product that says add to cart or buy now. And the number one requirement of winning the buy box is being priced appropriately. So if you're not priced appropriately, basically it translates to you won't get sales. So you might be able to do this early on when you have 10 products, 20 products, 30 products. Literally, you'll have to go into Amazon and manually change your price all day long. But think about once you get 100 products, 200, 500, 1,000 products in there, it's essentially impossible and it's not worth it at that point in time. Most people are using a repricer. I think it's critical once you hit a certain point. But if you can only start with one, it would be Keepa, 2 Keepa Inventory Lab, and then a repricer as soon as you can after that. Take it from my own firsthand experience, okay? And so like I said, some are as little as $25, but you're gonna see they pay for themselves, fully worth their weight in gold. Alrighty, so that's it everybody. Those are the only 3 paid tools and subscriptions that I use day to day in my Amazon business. I think they are worth their weight in gold, and if I was having an open and honest conversation with a friend, I'd say, first 2, Inventory Lab and Keepa, you need as of today. And then as far as a repricer, get that as soon as you have enough product that you can't manage the pricing, which is gonna be very soon, by the way. Okay, so if you stay with this, that's gonna happen very quickly, but you don't need it from day one. And so that's really it, okay? I do use supplies, not to be mistaken for subscriptions like poly bags, labels. That's more for prepping. I just made a video about that. And then there's also a lot of free tools and subscriptions that I use to help with the business too. I'll make a video about that. And for all of these, I'm gonna dive into them much deeper because they are such critical tools. But I'm from the mindset, start with a few things, learn the ins and outs, and if you think you need more or less, make your adjustment accordingly. I use as little as possible, and those 3, I can't really see adding to that anytime soon. So anyway, also on Instagram, Duke Does Amazon. Thanks for joining me. If you have any questions, put them below. Biggest piece of advice I can give to anybody wanting to do this is just take action. You'll figure it out. There's millions of other sellers. The resources and the information is out there. Have a great day.